So, hi, this is the final session of programming practices and techniques. When we are done with this course, we have C programming language. C programming language. That's the practical aspect of programming practices and techniques. Do you understand? So, this is the final session of programming practices and techniques. We are done with this course, Kenan. So, elements of programming languages, of the language. Objectives of this session. Objectives of this session. Number one, define software programs, describe a program development process, explain programming languages, explain program application, explain program testing. So programming languages are used to create either system software or application software. We know what system software is and we know what application software is, right? So programming languages, they are languages we use to develop software. Like for example, you you definitely have a language to communicate with your younger ones, with your family, with your friends, with your everything, right? So that they can understand what you are saying and execute whatever you ask them to do, whatever they ask you to do, right? So here the same thing with IT, with computer. You have to have a programming language you use to what create those softwares, application, WhatsApp, you see, Instagram, website softwares, any kind of softwares you might think of. Definitely they use it. They use your programming language to develop it. So system software is used to control the operations of computer hardware, right? If we discuss what system software is, right? It is also antivirus, operating system, and so on. What application software helps the user to perform the day-to-day activity. Go. It is Excel, PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, and so on. Video softwares, and so on. Go. So a software program, a set of written procedures or instructions in a sequential format that are used to perform specific tasks by a computer. Programs can a set of software program is a set of what written procedures or instructions in a sequential format that are used to perform specific tasks by a computer. Okay, it's created for business requirement as well as personal needs. Software programs, some of the characteristics that use must be present in software programs are as follows. We have number one, scalability. Very scalable. You can use it anywhere again, right? Then number two, scalability. It has the ability to updated, to be like advancing the sort of security characteristics. Their software has to be secure. Usability, reusability after compilation. Modularity, reusability. You can use it more than one time, different people, different human beings. Then modularity, it has to have modularity like modules, section by section. The one section, the one section. The one button, the one button. Testability, it has to be tested. Interoperability, how it's being communicated with, how it's communicated with other devices or other softwares or other programs, right? Then accuracy, efficiency, flexibility, and portability, reliability. So that's not dissect explanation, right? So the figure shows the program development process, and this is how to what develop it. Number one, you plan. After planning, okay, what do I do? Okay, I will do this, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this, I'll do that. After you plan, the next thing is what you implement what you've planned. You start you've already like you are implementing what you've planned. After implementing it, now you are bringing it into what existence. Because planning it doesn't exist, right? You are just planning it from your head. While implementation, you have to plot. You are bringing all your plans to what existence. You understand? Then followed by what testing. After you implement it, then you test. You test. Is it working fine? Yeah, the program, the software is working fine. That's nice. After that, you deploy. Do you know what deployment is? Deployment is you execute it in such a way that you can send it to people so that people can use it. You understand? Then maintain as a hand. After that, then you maintain it from time to time. You understand? So this is a top-down structure again. Then a language design using formal codes of reserved words and symbols that express the process of followed by a word computer. A language design using formal codes. By the way, formal codes, it has its own codes, reserved word, reserved, that is symbols that express the process to be followed by a computer. Contains this instruction that need to be provided to a computer and performing tasks in a precise manner. Then types of programming language. We have structured programming languages. We have object-oriented programming language, and we have aspect-oriented programming language. Structured object-oriented programming language or aspect-oriented programming language. So some of the features are as follows. Features of some of the programming languages, we have all languages must be compiled preferably using a compiler. Don't design compiling using a compiler. There can be different ways to implement the compiling process, but the process must be followed for all the programming. If you want to program it, it has to be compiled before you can execute it. You understand? Then a program should have a memory handling data storage facility. Usually arrays are used for data storage and also known as data structures. You understand? Then control statement must be included in a programming language for logical implementation of the program. Then the program's functions and procedures should be written as well as provision should be provided for editing as required. Everything has to be written in a well-mannered format. Then the built-in functionalities of the program, such as classes and functions, must be used to write the better program. Don't you go when the program is like developed. It has to have functions and then classes. You understand? Then libraries must be created in the software program so that these libraries can be used in other software programs. When they apply libraries, like some functionality in the software, so that interoperability can take place. Because when you have libraries, another programs from another software can communicate with your program. You understand? Then most programming languages support exception handling. Exception handling is what we call error handling. Do you understand? These features of programming language must be used to find any errors that may be present in the computer program that is developed. Then operations must be used to execute operations, especially those that are mathematical in nature. And the ground rules of writing programs must be specified and followed by all programs before starting to write the code. You have to follow a rule. You don't just come from nowhere and start writing nonsense. It has to be a laid down procedure. You understand? Then procedures are used to execute program and functions must be used to return value after the execution of the program. So program execution, a process where the computer performs instructions that are given to it by a program. That's what program execution. Program execution is a process where the computer performs the instructions that are given to it by a computer program. After these tasks are performed, the user receives certain results as specified in the program. Then to do methods that are used to execute a program, we have interpreter. In high-level language, we have compiler. Interpret the source code. While compiler, it compiles the source code. You understand? Source code, compiler, external libraries interpret the results. Farko zai fara compiling. After you compiling, sai zai interpreting code yaren da kai. Then it will produce output. It will compile it and interpret it to machine language, 0 and 1 scale. Understand? Then programming testing. A process of validating, evaluating, and verifying the capabilities of a software program, determining if the software program has met the required results. Program testing. You have to check the validation, the evaluation, the verification, the capability of a software program, and determine if the software has met the required specification. Do you understand? Some of these aspects that form a part of testing are as follows. We have the software must meet the requirements specified. Before you develop a software, you have to have specifications. You have to have the requirements you need in the system for the system to work perfectly, right? Then all the operations of the software must be in working condition. The implementation of the software at the client end must not create any issues. The software must satisfy the needs of the users. Understand? Then popular software testing tools are after you develop your software, that kind of testing tools are checking why now programs. Quick Test Pro, Rational Robot, Eggplant, Sick Test, Test Complete, Test Partner, Test Manager, Visual Studio, Test Professional. All these ones you can get them. Then, process of testing. You plan the test. After you plan the test, you analyze the test. After you analyze, you design the test. After design, you create and verify what the test. Then you execute the test, performance test and documentation. Then actions after implementation. Get. So this is a summary. A compiler is used to. So if you have any question, you are free to ask. We are done with computer programming PPT, programming practices and techniques. So if you have any question, you can ask. Thank you.